A classic carbonara is on the menu today, but we're doing things a little differently. There's no pork, no cheese, and no eggs, but it still tastes delicious, and we're gonna show you how. My guest today is a repeat offender with Dinner DeeAs. Chef Eric McHugh is from Flor Fina, the restaurant in Ybor's Hotel Haya. Oh, man.
Great to see you again. Thanks for having me back.
It's so great to have you back here. Chef Eric is here with a healthy alternative to a comfort food classic, a vegan butternut squash carbonara that's so good he has it on the menu at Flor Fina, and not just as a token dish for the customers with, you know, a little dietary restriction here and there.
You know, it can be for meat eaters as well, like myself, because hopefully we've done our jobs and you don't miss any of the ingredients.
And sometimes it's nice to have the alternative. Recharge the gut a little bit. Try something.
Eat some extra veggies. You still get plenty of protein in there as we go through the things, but it's just different, but it's fun.
It's a playground to hide some things in there that give you the illusion and the taste like what you are accustomed to, but trying things in a new way.
Trying to eliminate some of the guilt and the guilty pleasure.
I absolutely love that, because like, what do we got going on over here?
So here, when we finish off the pasta, we use this little kind of crispy Panko nutritional yeast vegan butter. This is what I've started off melting in here. This is a little topping that we put on it. And that's going to emulate that, finishing it with Parmesan cheese. So
that right there is like a guilty pleasure stuff, because I'm a big cheese eater myself. So it's like, so many others love cheese, but you would have to change it to make something like that.
Absolutely. We all love that cheese, but this is kind of give that nutritional yeast really gives that kind of Parmesan-y, nutty flavor to the dish. The Panko gives a little bit of an extra crunch in there. So we just really melt the butter enough to kind of coat all of these, and we're just going to toast it up in the saute pan.
And that's not, you know, butter from a cow and using cream. This is a special butter as well.
This is a plant-based butter. You can actually buy this from Whole Foods or Sprouts or any of the markets, and it's just a plant-based vegan butter that we use to start this off.
To cook up carbonara just like this one for yourself, grab Chef Eric's recipe, just like the one he does at the restaurant at dinnerdeeas.com. We have it ready to print with all the ingredients and directions. Whether you want to make the whole thing or just the sauce, just get your phone, open up the camera as if you're taking a photo, and point at the TV to use the QR code in the corner. That makes a link to us pop right up on your phone. All right, so how about this? I'm going to keep an eye on this one here. I'll take you to that GBD status over here.
Golden brown delicious.
Because what's going on over here?
Over here, this is where we're gonna make the magic, our sauce.
Okay.
So the sauce for the carbonara is super simple, but it's a tofu-based sauce. So we're gonna take a block of firm tofu and all of the liquid. We're not gonna drain it out on this. We want that liquid in there. And all of our other ingredients, we're just gonna add right into the blender. I have some almond milk. I have some, this is called kala namak, or a black salt. It's actually from the Himalayas, and it's a toasted mineral salt that has kind of a sulfurous aroma and taste to it.
Okay, so tofu, easy to find. Almond milk, easy to find. The salt, easy to find?
How easy to find. You can get it usually from Whole Foods, Sprouts, a lot of the grocers. I think I found it in Walmart one time.
If you can find it at Walmart, you can find it in a lot of places. Folks.
Right, so we went in with a little bit of rice flour.
Okay.
Some of the nutritional yeast. And then our seasonings are mustard powder, a little turmeric, and a little curry powder.
I was getting the curry inside the nose area when we were kind of setting up, so okay, very cool.
And that's as simple as that. We're gonna put that all in the blender, and we're just gonna start this up and blend it really well until it's nice and smooth. If we get this going here, watch out for the overshot. And then after we've done that, that's really that's it. That's the base of the sauce.
What's the consistency though?
You're looking for a nice, smooth, kind of yogurt-looking consistency, a little thinner than yogurt, heavy creamish.
Okay.
Because what's going to happen with that rice flour we put in there, as we go to the next step and we cook it into the pasta, it's going to thicken that sauce with our pasta water that we're going to put in there. It's going to bloom all those flavors and the colors and be a nice yellowy egg color.
I love it. I love it. I love it.
So we have some golden brown deliciousness happening there.
We're getting that there.
Yeah, that's exactly what we're going to look for. And then once we've got that finished toasting, we're just going to have a little plate lined with paper towels and kind of spread that on it.
Okay.
And let that sit out into room temperature to cool a little bit. It doesn't have to be, cool completely, but we just kind of like to do it as a little room temperature garnish.
You want me to take this off now?
Yeah, those looking perfect.
Those are looking good? All right.
Looking perfect.
Well, we have to take a quick break, but when we come back, Chef Eric shares how he makes pasta from scratch and squeezes out butternut squash into the spaghetti ahead on Dinner DeeAs. Welcome back to Dinner DeeAs, where we're making a guilty pleasure, a carbonara with all the pleasure and none of the guilt, as it's a vegan butternut squash carbonara, thanks to my guest, Chef Eric McHugh from Flor Fina, the restaurant and Hotel Haya in Ybor City. Before the break, we melted some plant butter and cooked up breadcrumbs with nutritional yeast and oregano to be our pretend Parmesan nooch and kept it dairy-free. And while that got golden brown delicious, we made our sauce base in the blender. Tofu with the liquid it came in, almond milk, rice flour, nutritional yeast, turmeric, some black salt, mustard powder, curry powder, and kosher salt. Getting into a thin yogurt consistency, then got the cooked breadcrumbs onto a paper towel to cool, let those rest, do their thing. And during the break, we kind of started working on a nice dough ball over here.
We started making our vegan pasta here now. So we've, again, left out the eggs.
Yeah.
But we're bringing some of that back into it. We've got semolina flour.
Okay.
We have some all-purpose or 00 or different kind of a finer flour in there. We use some vital wheat gluten. What that's going to do is help us with some of that elasticity and protein that an egg would have.
Nice. So something like that. Where are you going to find that though? Do you have to go to a specialty store for that one?
Again, Sprouts
has that.
Whole Foods, Farmers Market, some of the places like that have the vital wheat gluten, the Bob's Red Mill brand and different ones like that right in the store.
Okay, very cool.
And then we took butternut squash puree, which I just simply roasted up and then scooped it out and pureed it in a blender.
Anything special with the roasting process on that one?
Just a little oil, salt, and let it roast in the skin, and then I scoop it out.
Okay.
You can interchange that. You could do sweet potato or pumpkin, acorn squash, spaghetti squash, for the irony of the spaghetti that we're making out of it.
I love that. Now, you are roasting that. If someone wants to get it from a can, though, changes the consistency at all?
Not really. It should be about the same. Sometimes you just have to keep an eye on it with pasta. If the liquid content's a little bit different, you're going to want to put a little bit of water in, add like a teaspoon at a time to make sure.
And you had a little bit of water on the side here for us too, because you always have that just to make sure you're getting that movement.
Yeah, I always keep it as a fail-safe just in case. And so right now we've got the dough has come together into somewhat of a ball. It's not entirely all together.
Okay.
But that's the point of where we want to stop mixing it in the mixer.
Okay. If you were to have kept mixing it longer than what we're seeing over here, it would just start to crumble out.
It can start to crumble out and it can start to make it too tough to deal with. So this part is where we do the reason we show up to our job every single day, because we need the dough.
We need the dough, and you need to make Chef Eric's take on carbonara, but without the meat and dairy, or make it halfway and toss some bacon in. Grab the recipe at dinnerdeeas.com. Just scan the QR code in the corner to find us fast. All right, so
we have a lightly floured surface. We don't, again, we kind of got that nice consistency out of the pasta dough with the water. We don't want to dry it out too much. So we leave the flour where it is, and if we start to get a little too sticky, if it's sticking to your fingers, we'll kind of move it over and roll it in some more of the flour. But at this point, we're just basically continuing to fold it in half.
And what does the kneading process really do for a pasta dough?
This is where we're building those strands of gluten. All that, the protein strands in the flour, in the vital wheat gluten. This is giving us that nice, beautiful ability to stretch the dough out and get our nice thin sheet rather than having it tear apart like it does right there. So this is the process where you're gonna end up building some forearm muscles. Take a few minutes, 5 to 8 minutes, depending on the pasta. And we're just gonna keep kneading. Put your favorite Dinner DeeAs show on in the background.
I like that.
And just watch it while you don't have to look at what you're doing.
You just kind of it's going into just a very calming, labor intense, but not labor over tense. That makes any sense.
Little zen zone.
It's a zen zone, exactly.
Yeah. So I feel like the part of making fresh pasta, this is kind of the fun part for me. It's really getting in touch with the food and
You feel it.
In more ways than one.
You feel it. And so, like, you say about 5 to 8 minutes is kind of what you see is this kind of a process for you. How do you know, and what do you see within that 5 to 8 minutes or so?
Within the 5 to 8 minutes, you're definitely going to feel a texture change. It's going to go from feeling that crumbly texture to a much smoother. It should be not sticky. Right now, it's a little sticky, but as we keep kneading, it's going to end up being a lot smoother.
Everything, like, right around this whole area starts to become more constant than what you're seeing over here. It's becoming one smooth ball.
One smooth ball is what we're going to end up looking for. That's not going to, and you can give it a little test to see if it pulls or if it tears. And if it tears like that, we got to keep kneading.
You got to keep kneading.
Need to knead.
We need to knead. We also need to take a break. While Mr. Muscles here finishes kneading the dough, it is break time. When we come back, we turn it into spaghetti ahead on Dinner DeeAs. Welcome back to Dinner DeeAs, where we're making carbonara with a few healthy tweaks, taking out the meat and dairy, but leaving in taste, thanks to the recipe from my guest, Chef Eric McHugh, who has this on the menu at Flor Fina, the restaurant in Ybor's Hotel Haya. Before the break, Chef Eric made the dough for his butternut squash spaghetti, combining all-purpose flour, semolina flour, vital wheat gluten, kosher salt, and butternut squash puree in our stand mixer with the dough hook attachment. Then kneading it for about 5-8 minutes is what kind of it was for you.
Yeah, about 5 to 8 minutes, usually not much more than that.
Just enough to make it all smooth and bring it all together until we got a nice smooth ball. But this is not a ball that we want to go straight into making our pasta with.
No, this is not. And we know it's done because you see as you push down a little thumbprint into it, it pops back up. We've gotten that elasticity. So that's what we want. But it's not going to stretch out and stay nice and thin without then relaxing it.
Okay.
So what we're going to do with this is we're going to take it, we're going to put it in a bowl, cover it with a little plastic wrap, and just pop it in the fridge if we're letting it rest overnight, if you're making it ahead. Or if you're doing it the same day, you can always just leave it on the countertop for about an hour.
Okay, so no less than an hour, no more than a day.
Yeah.
Overnight.
Correct. You don't want it to get oxidizing and a little weird. So,
because then it's going to dry out. So we did this one earlier.
So this one is nice and rested and ready to go.
And you can still see that rise. You still saw that pop back up.
Still see the smooth elasticity from it. So we're going to just take this, and now we're going to get some more hand work going in our hand crank pasta roller.
Love it.
They have, attachments for the KitchenAid mixer that we made the dough in, and you can always use that if you want to. But I like to take the pasta and just cut a little section off of it. And kind of press it out by hand to get it started. We'll dust a little bit more flour on the scenario so we don't get sticking. And we're just going to roll it through our hand crank
And with
pasta
the hand
roller.
crank, where are we starting off with? What type of a setting?
The biggest setting we've got.
Okay.
We're starting at 0 and work our way up.
Okay, so biggest setting is always the lowest number. Do you do 2 kind of pushes through, or do you just kind of start going in?
I kind of feel it by hand.
Okay.
If it feels like it's not set up enough or it needs to kind of go through, fold it over and kind of push it through on the big one. But this one, the texture of this recipe with that vital wheat gluten, the elasticity, it is so beautiful. Usually we can just go right into rolling it out a little smaller each time.
Okay.
We'll go to the 1, the 2, and we're just going to roll out.
So you're slowly just working up those numbers and then kind of getting
Working up the numbers. We can skip 1 here because this pasta is working really well for us. We'll go right to the 4. And we're going to go one more time to the number 5 with this one, and that's going to be our pasta for this. Then we're just going to cut it.
I love that. And I love how you just kind of gracefully just use your hands and using your body, the wrist, to just have that area to just kind of catch it.
Just want to fold it over
and then
drape
fold
it
right over. Exactly. It's a smooth, reaction over here.
And this pasta machine has these cool little cutters that come with them. So I'm just going to move my little spinning handle over to this side.
Okay, so we took that to a 5, and we knew that was the perfect thickness that we wanted.
Right, you can feel it. It's about as thick as spaghetti is, and that's what we're going to go for this. So now I'm just going to roll it right into our cutter, and you can see out that side this beautiful cut strands of spaghetti that we're going to use for our pasta dish.
I love it.
And that is our cut spaghetti that we're going to cook up here in a minute. But in the meantime,
yeah, because like carbonara, it's bacon, dude. I got to go out there.
You got to call me out on it.
Well, there's someone that's like, that's what they always are longing for when it comes to that dish. It's that crispy bacon. It's that smokiness.
That sure is. So at the restaurant, we actually make our own vegan bacon.
You're making your own vegan bacon?
Vegan bacon. We
Okay.
take king oyster mushrooms, which are really giant mushrooms that are basically all stem.
Yeah.
And that's what we want. And we do salt, brown sugar, clove, maple syrup brine on
Okay.
them. We marinate them overnight, and then we put them in the smoker. And we let them smoke at 200 degrees for a couple of hours,
Okay.
and they really absorb all that smoke flavor, that salty sweetness, everything you love about bacon.
Right on.
But these mushrooms are hardy enough to build up a texture. So,
Okay, so-
this is some of ours we have there. And if you want to try some, here's some that we have crisped up.
Oh, I could smell that smoke for it there.
All the smoke off of it, the natural smoke flavor. It's just a really cool bacon alternative that we're going to use to get into this dish. And
It has a texture behind it that's kind of like not a crispy bacon.
it's not quite crispy bacon, but there's enough of a bite to it that guanciale you rendered out for
Yeah.
carbonara that you get that salty crispiness and a little texture.
But you're getting the flavor of smoke as well.
Yeah,
you're getting all of
absolutely.
that. I dig that.
So for the purpose of everybody at home, probably not brining and smoking their own mushroom bacon.
They're probably not, but if you are, I want to see pictures and make sure you send them Dinner DeeAs.
Hashtag.
Yeah, exactly.
We have some store-bought mushroom bacon that I picked up at Whole Foods.
Okay.
You can get it at a lot of the Sprouts or good natural food stores that carry a lot of vegan products.
Okay.
So we're going to take some of that and just start it in our pan here. We're going to pop that in with a little oil, and it comes packed with coconut oil in this product.
And that product there.
They started off with coconut oil so that it kind of emulates that bacon fat to help allow fry up and get nice and crispy as we cook here.
I can smell that piece now too. With the oil now, I'm getting all that because like I smelled the smoke off of yours. I taste it, and now it's just kind of like sitting there. And I'm like, all right, I can get that. And now you're getting all the smells in the air. I love this.
So that's our starter for the carbonara.
That's the starter right there. And to start it on your own, all you need to do is just grab Chef Eric's recipes for the pasta, the sauce, and the Parmesan breadcrumbs we did earlier. The ingredients, amounts, and directions are ready to print. Head to dinnerdeeas.com. Just scan the QR code in the corner of the screen to find us. And how long should this cook for? What are we looking for?
Right now, again, we're looking for that GBD.
Golden brown
for it to
delicious,
get
just like how yours
nice
is.
and brown. We're looking for crispy. This will take probably about 4 minutes. So when we're talking about making this dish, you can start this, put your pasta in the boiling water, and then start this going right at the same time. So usually by the time that pasta gets 4 or 5 minutes in the water,
Time right.
we're ready to go with our crispy bacon.
It's all about timing. So we got one last break, but when we come back, we plate it all up and see how the taste compares to the real thing ahead on Dinner DeeAs. Welcome back to Dinner DeeAs. We've been creating a tasty take on carbonara, but making it without the meat. And it's even perfect for anyone not doing dairy as it's fully vegan. A butternut squash carbonara from Chef Eric McHugh, who has it on the menu as a seasonal special, but might be a permanent addition at Flor Fina in Ybor's Hotel Haya. Before the break, we took our butternut squash dough and let it sit in the fridge, swapping it for one that we did earlier, and ran it through the pasta machine to make it into fresh spaghetti. While we sauteed some vegan bacon to add to the sauce we made earlier, and during the break, we cooked up the pasta.
We did cook up that pasta, and here we are about 3-4 minutes in. We have a nice, beautiful cooked pasta. We've got our hot vegan bacon, and we're gonna put that pasta, we're not gonna strain it, we're not gonna rinse it. We're gonna go right out of our boiling water, right into the pan.
Love it.
This is what we want, that beautiful starches, all those ones we created, and we got that in the water. We want that in this dish. That's gonna be the base of our sauce. It's gonna help any of your pasta dishes, help that sauce stick to the pastas, that nice starchy water. You can always have a ladle handy and kind of put a little bit, about 2 more ounces in there.
I always reserve that water, even for like reheats the next day with the leftovers.
So good. And you know, you can see without doing anything else, it's just already kind of forming that sheen
Absolutely.
on our pasta. And we're gonna take our vegan carbonara sauce that we made earlier and put that in it.
You know, and what I loved about this, and we were talking about this off camera, was like, because, you know, you're thinking about fresh pasta sometimes, it's that egg, it's that color, it's that orange, but because we now have that butternut squash in there, because we've now taken it to such a level, it has that look of what would have been truly with eggs.
Truly with egg yolk pasta, you have that look, you have the creaminess that would have come from all of that cheese in there. It's thickened up over really nicely on it, just like it would for a normal carbonara. Now we're done. It's just that quick, just that simple. We're gonna go to the plate with this guy. So we're just gonna start here with our tongs and grab up a good amount of our pasta.
Oh, and still do that nice little twirl. And it's amazing to think that there's no dairy in this.
No dairy at all. We're gonna put a nice little twirl.
No cream, no cheese, no butter.
Well,
outside of what we had with just the vegan special.
We've got our vegan butter, we've got our vegan tofu cream that we've made, and it's really just kind of comes together. We're gonna take those beautiful fake Parmesan breadcrumbs, cover all over the top of it. We've got a little fresh chopped basil or oregano if you'd like to garnish it off and finish it. And we have our vegan carbonara.
Look at that, look at that. You ready to try it?
I am totally ready to dig
right in. I gotta give that.
Give that a twirl.
This is lovely looking. Cheers, my friend.
Vegan carbonara.
It has the creaminess that you'd be wanting and expecting. The smokiness comes back into play, which you want. And it still has a cheesiness.
The cheesiness, you have a little bit of that kind of egg taste to it.
Uh-huh.
I think if somebody put this in front of you and didn't tell you that it was vegan, you probably wouldn't know.
I think that's also a big thing, folks. Like, try stuff that's like outside the box sometimes, because like you can surprise yourself and do something totally unique, totally fun, and then at the same time, you can eat healthier. Very, very cool. Thanks to Chef Eric. Grab his recipe for this at dinnerdeeas.com. Scan the QR code down there to find us. We also have a link to Flor Fina where this is on his menu. I'm Jeff Philbin. Thanks for watching, and see you next time with another idea for dinner, as we call them, Dinner Deeas.